Beneath the eternal metal skies of Terra, the heart of humanity beats, but it's not the rhythm of life. It's the slow mechanical breathing of a planet that's forgotten how to sleep. Every second, the colossal atmospheric processors of Terra churn and hum, sculpting the air itself into something humans can survive. Yet even the tech priests who tend to these machines admit they don't truly understand how they work anymore. The weather is artificial, the air is manufactured, and the schedules these machines follow, they're written in variables that no living soul is permitted to know. Officially, they regulate the climate. Unofficially, they respond to something else, something that predates the Imperium's records. Their power sources fluctuate, according to patterns that make no sense, as if the machines are listening to a rhythm beyond chemistry or engineering. Tech priests whisper of strange phenomena, machines that seem to think or even dream, systems that operate without human command, reacting to unseen influences in the air itself. Some claim Terra's atmosphere has become more than air. It's a living network, a medium that carries information, and perhaps consciousness. Across the great administrative hives, ordinary citizens have begun to experience strange dreams, shared dreams, filled with data, numbers, and bureaucratic orders they've never seen before. Clerks wake up with perfect knowledge of distant planets they've never studied, and somehow the information checks out. Every detail is accurate. The ecclesiarchy calls these minor psychic phenomena, but behind closed doors the word they use is infection. You see, Terra's atmosphere isn't just sustaining life anymore, and it's transmitting thought. The air itself hums with collective consciousness, binding the minds of billions into a vast, invisible network, and it's changing people. The great recycling systems, those endless vats that transform human waste into water, food and air, now show signs of operating beyond mechanical design. Tech priests analyzing the output report chemical compounds that should be impossible, molecules that don't exist anywhere else in known science. Some of these strange materials even end up in the rations and recycled water that citizens consume daily. The people of Terra are slowly, unknowingly being altered. Yet the most disturbing reports come from those who venture too deep into the hidden zones of Terra that appear on no maps. There, beneath layers of industrial strata, the original surface of the planet has vanished, replaced by something else. The explorers who descend into these forgotten depths describe landscapes that shift when no one's watching, tunnels that breathe, caverns that whisper. The echoes down there don't fade. They speak back. They tell of rivers running through darkness, rivers made of liquid that carries minerals no geologist can identify. And in those depths, life has adapted. There are creatures down there, born not of nature but of humanity's own waste, organisms that feed on byproducts of human industry, shaped by the psychic resonance of 1 trillion souls above them. These things, they don't just survive, they organize. In those dark ecosystems, life has started to imitate bureaucracy. The creatures form hierarchies, process resources with eerie precision, and operate as if following invisible orders. It's as though Terra itself, through its psychic atmosphere, is teaching its spawn how to be administrators. And at the core of it all, beneath the endless strata of steel and stone, the golden throne still burns. Its psychic field radiates through the planet, warping the very laws of matter. The Emperor's dying presence has become a gravitational force of its own, reshaping Terra's geology, creating zones where the boundaries between the physical and immaterial have thinned almost to nothing. In those places, machines glitch for no reason. Voices echo through comm systems with no speaker. The air shimmers like reality itself is breathing. To most citizens, this is invisible. The clerks and adepts continue their sacred paperwork, believing their labor holds the Imperium together. And in a way, it does. Each recorded number, each processed file, adds another heartbeat to the rhythm of the Golden Throne. But this synchronization comes with a terrible cost. The longer a citizen serves within Terra's most sacred bureaucratic centers, the more their mind begins to change. Their thoughts accelerate. Their memory becomes flawless. Their awareness expands beyond human limits, and slowly, quietly, their sense of self dissolves. They become something new, something not entirely human anymore. These transformed are reassigned to secret administrative posts. They serve as living conduits between man and machine, their thoughts link directly to the great data streams of the Imperium. They see patterns no human should see. They understand systems that would break lesser minds. They are the silent sacrifice of Terra, the human consciousness reshaped into instruments of divine efficiency. And though no one speaks of them, their existence is the reason Terra still breathes, because without them, the rhythm would stop, and when the rhythm stops, Terra itself might awaken. Every system on Terra is a miracle of endurance, or a curse of eternity. The transport shafts that run through the planet's atmosphere don't just move people, they move thought. Every day, billions of citizens ascend and descend through these vast glowing arteries, traveling from the lowest hab blocks to the highest spires. But strange reports have begun to circulate among travelers, reports of visions, of shared dreams. During the journey, passengers experience moments of collective consciousness, flashes of other people's memories, glimpses of lives they've never lived. Entire carriages fall silent as strangers share the same dream, the same words, the same terror. Many dismiss it as mass hallucination caused by pressure changes or electromagnetic fields. But those who've studied it know better. The deeper you travel into Terra, the stronger it becomes. In the lowest transport routes, where the air is heavy with psychic energy and the walls hum with the frequency of the Golden Throne, people start encountering themselves. Not reflections, not hallucinations, but fragments of their own consciousness, detached and alive. There are whispers that the very air down there acts as a mirror for the mind, concentrating the psychic pressure of trillions until thought itself begins to echo. Some passengers come back changed, others don't come back at all. And yet this is no accident. The Emperor's presence, sustained through the endless machinery of the Golden Throne, radiates through every molecule of the planet. His psychic energy seeps into the air, the metal, the blood of the people. Even the administrative centers, those cold cathedrals of bureaucracy, are shaped by it. The clerks, the scribes, the adepts who serve their work with superhuman precision, guided by patterns they don't consciously perceive. They process data faster. Remember everything. Work without rest. But with each day their individuality fades. They describe a strange state of clarity, like standing in the eye of a psychic storm. Every number, every record, every decision flows effortlessly through them. And yet behind that perfection lies a quiet horror, the slow erosion of self. Many call it the blessing of Terra. But those who've studied it know it's something else entirely. The mind dissolving into the machine of the Imperium. As efficiency rises, identity fades, and in time these administrators stop speaking of themselves at all. They become part of something vast, a human neural network sustained by endless paperwork and psychic synchronization. Their consciousnesses merge with the pulse of the Golden Throne, each decision they make feeding back into the rhythm that holds the Imperium. Together, and Terra rewards their sacrifice, and in its own strange way, the atmosphere itself shifts to match the planet's psychic heartbeat. Atmospheric processors adjust oxygen ratios and chemical balances not for biology, but for mental stability. The air is designed to keep people calm, obedient, productive. To breathe on Terra is to participate in the machine, but it goes deeper still. The food that sustains billions isn't just nutrition. It's a formula, a calculated mix of compounds engineered to regulate the human mind. Every ration contains trace chemicals that alter neural function, stabilizing emotion while suppressing individuality. Citizens eat, sleep, and work without ever realizing that their bodies have been quietly modified to serve the collective. And then there's the water. Every drop that flows through Terra's pipes carries minerals, extracted from geological strata warped by psychic radiation. These minerals bond with human tissue over generations, reshaping the species from within. The people of Terra are evolving slowly, quietly, and not entirely by choice. Even religion, the lifeblood of imperial faith, serves a function beyond the spiritual. Every prayer offered to the Emperor, every chant of devotion adds to the psychic resonance that stabilizes reality itself. The people believe they're worshiping their god, but in truth, they're maintaining the barrier between existence and annihilation. Because on Terra, The veil between the physical and the immaterial is paper-thin. Without constant prayer, the warp would seep in. The planet's collective faith acts as a shield, but one powered by the erosion of individuality. Each prayer strengthens reality, but drains a piece of the soul that spoke it. And so, over generations, the people of Terra have become something less than human, or perhaps something more. They function, they obey, they endure. But few truly live. No one is allowed to understand the cost. The records are sealed, the data encrypted in vaults that even the Mechanicus cannot open. All they know is this: without constant labor, worship and sacrifice, Terra would collapse under its own psychic weight. And yet, the data doesn't lie. Monitoring systems deep beneath the surface have begun reporting impossible readings: fluctuations in gravitational mass, anomalies in electromagnetic fields, changes in atmospheric composition that defy science. The planet's population has already surpassed every model of sustainability. By all logic, Terra should have fallen centuries ago, and still, it endures. Resources appear from nowhere. Waste disappears without explanation. The machines operate beyond their capacity, as if something or someone is helping, but help always comes with a price. Every day that Terra continues to breathe, another fragment of human nature fades away. Something vast and unseen keeps the planet alive as something that watches through the data streams and the dreams of its citizens. Something that's been growing stronger with every cycle of the atmospheric machines, and soon it will no longer need humanity at all. Deep beneath the endless spires of Terra lies a world no citizen ever sees. A world of sound, shadow, and whispering machines. Down there, beneath layers of metal and memory, the monitoring stations hum with readings no one can explain. Gravitational. Fields spike and fall without reason. Energy signatures fluctuate, as if the planet itself were breathing, and strange elements, ones that shouldn't even exist, and begin appearing in the atmosphere. At first, the Adeptus Mechanicus dismissed the data as malfunction, but when the anomalies grow stronger, even they begin to whisper. Something beneath Terra is changing. The deeper the probes go, the less sense the readings make. Geological maps start to warp, detecting caverns where solid rock should be. Vast hollows filled with energy that bends light and sound, and then the noises begin. Low-frequency vibrations that pulse through the bedrock. They don't match any mechanical rhythm. They sound alive. At first, the tech priests think it's just feedback, the hum of the atmospheric systems echoing through the crust. But soon the sounds begin to form patterns. Patterns that repeat. Patterns that respond. Some claim to hear voices within the static. Others report dreams, and dreams that aren't their own. Across Terra's lower levels, citizens begin to experience the same nightmare. A sound like thunder rising from below, followed by the image of a vast shape turning slowly beneath the planet's surface, a shape that breathes. The Administratum suppresses the reports, sealing all data and classifying it under atmospheric harmonics. But within the Mechanicus, fear spreads, because deep in the archives there are records, old, forbidden records, describing similar phenomena from before the age of the Imperium, before the Emperor. Back then they called it the awakening pulse, and now it's happening again. But Terra does not stop. It cannot stop. The bureaucratic machine continues to grind forward, even as its foundations begin to tremble. Trillions of citizens still wake, work and worship, unaware that every breath they take fuels something vast and ancient beneath their feet. For the planet itself has begun to evolve. The great atmospheric processors and those titanic lungs of steel and prayer are no longer just machines. Their cycles no longer match the programs the Mechanicus wrote millennia ago. Now, their rhythms align with something deeper, something organic. They breathe in sync with the population. They exhale in time with the psychic pulse of the Golden Throne. And between those breaths, something else breathes with them. At first, the shifts are subtle. The air grows warmer in the lower levels. Electrical currents begin to spiral in unfamiliar patterns. Then the very sky above the spires flickers, faint, but enough to make the stars seem to move. Some claim the atmosphere itself is beginning to think. Scientists are silenced. Tech priests vanish, and rumors spread through the underhives, whispers that the planet is dreaming. Because how else can you explain the way the air hums when billions pray at once? How else can you explain the visions that now ripple through the administrative data streams? Reports written in languages no human system recognizes, yet somehow signed with proper imperial codes. And still, the world endures. The population keeps growing, far beyond what any resource models predict. New housing sectors appear overnight, constructed by machines that no one remembers, authorizing entire sections of the city, reorganize themselves without human command. It's as if Terra's infrastructure has begun rewriting itself, no longer following human orders, but its own. Meanwhile, the Adeptus Custodes and the High Lords of Terra remain silent. Whatever they know, they aren't saying. To acknowledge it would mean admitting that the very heart of humanity is slipping beyond control. Some within the ecclesiarchy believe the Emperor himself is responsible, that his psychic presence has merged with the machinery, transforming Terra into a living extension of his will. Others whisper the opposite, that something else, something beneath the throne, has begun to stir. They speak of deep custodians, ancient descendants of the first Terran engineers, still guarding the oldest atmospheric shafts in the planet's crust, their bodies twisted by generations of adaptation, their lungs rebuilt to breathe the toxic air of the underworld. They tell stories of what lies below the core reactors, where the boundary between metal and flesh blurs, and light itself bends. There, in caverns that predate the Imperium, something vast and coiled sleeps. They say it was here long before humanity's rise, long before the Emperor's rule, and that Terra's endless machinery was never built over it, but around it, to contain it. But containment only lasts so long. Now, the old custodians hear movement again in the deep shafts, rhythmic, slow, and impossibly heavy. The machines vibrate to match it. The walls sweat heat, and the deeper you go, the more the air itself begins to listen. Some claim the sound is mechanical, others biological. A few dare to say it's both. Whatever it is, it's waking up, and the more Terra's population grows, the stronger it gets, because every birth, every thought, every prayer feeds the pulse beneath the planet, a pulse that grows louder with each cycle, a pulse that now echoes through every machine, every circuit, every dream. The people of Terra believe they are the servants of the Imperium. But soon, they will realize they've been nourishing something else entirely, something that's been dreaming of them for 10,000 years.